Good morning, everybody. Our weather here in Texas cannot make its mind up. It is worse than the most temperamental woman on the planet, I swear. Because one day it's like 98 degrees, the next day it's 68 degrees. There's beautiful sunshine and where you could just put on a swimsuit and tan your happy little butt off all day long, followed up by thunderstorms and hail. So that is Texas, though. That is Texas. I've been here for 10 years now, and that's just the way Texas operates. It's just crazy. Mother Nature definitely falls off her meds, as I say, consistently here in Texas. So, but this morning you're going to kind of probably, who knows what you're going to hear. If I start looking up at the sky, it's because I'm not trusting the sky this morning. Again, because it's partially cloudy. There are still a lot of really dark gray clouds out there, and I just don't want to get wet. I don't want to get wet like that, at least. Not from a thunderstorm coming through. But I think it's for the most part all cleared. Last night was the crazy night. And you know, the title of this conscious coffee is "When You Can't Find a Clean Shirt." And I was sitting here and I'm going, what the heck am I going to talk about? You know, here it is. It's Friday. It's the last day of Conscious Coffee Week for sure. There's, last work day for people. And for the most part, although plenty of people have to work on Saturdays and Sundays, right? But last day of what we consider the work week. And I'm sitting here and I realized that that I put on the same shirt that I had on last night, and it's because, in truth, here's what happened. I didn't actually change shirts because the way my night rolled, and there's always a moral to the tale, right? So it has absolutely nothing to do with the fact that I, number one, did not change shirts, and number two, it's a dirty shirt on, but actually it has everything to do with that, but not in the essence of that I didn't change shirts. But yesterday I got a new couch and it had to be picked up, and I've just moved into this house, right? And I'm still broken. So I had this accident happen a few weeks ago where my leg got really messed up. So I've been taking it easy on that and getting better every single day, but it's not like I can go and unpack my house the way I normally would. Like me, totally in action and feeling great. My house is put together in under a week, in like 3-4 days. I've got all the pictures hung up on the walls. I've got all the furniture where I want it. Everything's unpacked. There's no more boxes left in my house. It's all good. So I look around and there's these boxes all over my house, and it's kind of driving me a little bit crazy. If I'm OCD on something, it's probably on boxes. So there's boxes everywhere, and then I turn around and I'm like, okay, I need a couch for my non-formal living room, for my family room, right? So I get a couch and I get somebody to go and a kind-hearted soul who goes and gets this couch for me. Well, name unnamed for the purpose of this talk right here, but go and get this couch, and one thing leads to another. It's like we got the storm going, and we got this going, and we got that going, and it's just sheer freaking craziness. And so it's like the storm comes in and the couches are getting wet in the back of the truck, and then you gotta go buy a tarp, but then the storm decides that it's not going to happen anymore, and the tarp breaks, and that this happens, and the couches are like an hour and a half away from my house, so it's not just around the corner pickup. And I get back here to the house, and then it's loading them, and then injuries happen from moving couches, and children are excited, and it's just energy's really, really high. So at the end of the day, went to bed really, really late, and then got up in the middle of the night because I had to. I got up in the middle of the night. I I've got people like sleeping all over too. I've got like extra kids in my living room, kids scattered out all over the place, and get up and then go back to bed and then wake up this morning as like, excuse my French for conscious coffee here, but it's just like, fuck it, right? Fuck it, because I literally threw myself down on a blow-up bed and fell asleep. Just fell asleep. I was just like, I'm so tired. So I fall asleep on the blow-up bed, and then I wake up this morning and I was like, okay, I need to find a shirt. I need to find a shirt. Well, funny thing, my 18-year-old son who's moving to Maui here in a couple weeks, I've let him kind of take over my bedroom. So in his takeover of my bedroom, he has locked the bedroom door, and I have no access to my bedroom for the most part because he doesn't want his siblings to be running in and out of the room. So here it is this morning, and I'm like, I can't get into my bedroom. I went to open up the door, and I'm like, oh, fuck, right? So I can't get into the bedroom, so there's no clean shirt for me. There's absolutely no, I mean, unless I want to put on my 5-year-old's little Superman shirt or something. Not going to happen. Not going to happen. So the moral of my tale, and why it's a conscious coffee comment here, is that, you know, there's those mornings where you just can't get a clean shirt, right? You can't get a clean shirt because of all the chaos, because of the things that you're shut out from, the different things that have happened, the events that have taken place. Clean shirt being basically clarity of mind, clarity of direction, purpose, sense of anything going on in your life. There's maybe even you got a whole bunch of change, because typically what is happening, like that whole clean shirt thing, right? It's like a clean shirt is that clear path, that clear vision, that, you know, that whole clarity of that's the direction I'm going. I know what direction I'm going. But what happens in transformation, because that's what we're really always doing, but we have these moments, and they're like these really big, humongous changes. We have these big, humongous changes that take place, and it throws complete and total chaos into our life. And the storms of life come through, and they blow through, and you try to anticipate what they're going to do, but you really have no freaking clue what the storm of life is going to give you or not. Much like my tale of, like, right, going to get couches, and it's raining and it's pouring. It's like, oh crap, couches are going to get wrecked, so we get a tarp, right? We do. Well, think about it. In life, how many times do you think you know how it's going to go? You've got this all planned out, and then everything basically goes exactly opposite of what you think. Exactly opposite of what you think. And then you could say, well, but Kendal, you're the one who's always preaching and teaching about, you know, writing down what you want and focusing in on that, and you know, doing this and doing that, and just like manifesting, making that fuck yes life happen. Yes, but the reason why I always say to put it into generalized terms and to not try to handcuff or script it. So we're not handcuffing God, we're not handcuffing the universe, we're not trying to necessarily script exactly how these things happen, but instead focus in on the overall feeling that we have, or that we get from that change, from that manifestation, okay? Because really, truly, manifestation, no matter how big or small it is a change, because we wouldn't really want to manifest anything if we didn't want things to change, right? If everything was perfect and everything was groovy, then we wouldn't, what do we need to manifest? We already got it all, right? So manifesting is nothing more than wanting change. It's wanting change. It's wanting things to develop in a way that makes us feel better in our life and about everything that we're doing. So much like the little things that happen, like my story on this, you know, of the couches and the weather and the truck and the tarp and the injuries that happen, when we're in the middle of transformation and change, even when we have directly asked for it, if we directly ask for an outcome for it to happen in this way, that way, okay? And we do it in a sense of, it doesn't really matter if we go, I want it to happen with like this, 1, 2, 3. God, the universe, is going to say, you're going to get it the way you're going to get it. We heard your request, and here's some things that can happen, and doors start flying open and things start happening, and you're going to notice definite changes coming in, and there's going to be chaos, and there's going to be confusion, and there's going to be overwhelm, and there's going to be a hell of a lot of fear and concern and worry, and all these different things are going to pop up because you're going to all of a sudden have all this stuff coming at you, okay? So much like me moving into this house and, you know, like going from this playing field of everything being the normal, the same for the last 6-7 years, no changes at all, to basically complete upheaval and massive changes in so many different directions. That's the same thing that takes place anytime we are wanting to manifest some change in our life. And in truth, even in my world, I know that as far as like my current upheaval, although no matter how anybody perceives it, I understand what I have been writing in my journal, where I am at in my heart, in my soul, and what my direction is. So that clarity of direction, the long-term goal, which is nothing more than a feeling, a sensation. It's, you know, like one of the things I write in my journal is, I don't know how, but it just is that I'm in love with my life. I don't know how, but it just is that I have a house full of laughter and joy and peace. I don't know how, but it just is that that I always have a reason to smile. Those would be like 3 main things that I would say on the front of manifesting things are significant creator blocks for even, you know, it's like, I want those things. I'm not saying how I'm going to get them. I know that I want those things. So if I currently don't have all those pieces in my puzzle, in my current situation, then God's going to go, well, you said that you want this, but unfortunately, birthing a new situation is going to cause a little bit of pain. It's going to cause some turmoil, some chaos in your life. We've got to go and actually like dig up the ground to lay the foundation for your new life, and to put in those building blocks and all that foundation stuff there. And guess what? It's going to be uncomfortable. It's going to be fast paced in some spaces. It's going to be all this different stuff. So really truly looking at that is what, I think I hear my kid screaming. I think I hear my kid screaming. Okay. Hopefully somebody will catch him. But if we all of a sudden have like I'm betting a 3-year-old come out here, you'll know what's going on. But that whole change, it really is that all this stuff just kind of kicks up and we don't know what necessarily to do with it. But no matter what those situations are, if we have that long-term goal picture of this is what I want, then guess what? Everything else that happens in between is just leading us to that. No matter how chaotic the house is, no matter how many boxes you end up having stuck around and you don't know what the fuck's in them, and maybe you can't get a clean change of clothes going because you've been locked out of this circumstance. And a clean change of clothes is basically just like maybe a fresh perspective on something, or working through something that you feel like, I don't know, I need to do this, but it seems like there's a doorway still shut there, or there's this happening, or I'm not exactly able to change fully in this moment to meet the needs of what I feel my current life picture is offering me, or my current experience is. Anytime those things happen, because that's what happens in creation mode, in transformation mode, what happens is that we get into these spaces where doors are flying open. We take the ones that feel the best to us, we walk through those, and then all of a sudden we don't know what the heck to do, and we find ourselves going, like, I don't know what to do there. I don't know what to do there. I'm not qualified for this. I have no clue what's going on there. We get fuzzy. We start getting lack of clarity in different ways. We start doubting ourselves, and coming back to those things like what I'm talking about. I don't know how, but it just is that I'm in love with my life. I don't know how, but it just is that my house is full of joy, happiness, laughter. I don't know how, but it just is that, I mean, it can be quite literally anything, like I always have a reason to smile. I don't know how, but it just is that I have fantastic relationships in my life. I don't know how, but it just is that I always know the next best thing to do. And that is a really, really good one to kind of focus in on when you're in the middle of transformation. We're always in the middle of transformation, but we definitely have those times when we are in bigger piles of transformation, you could say, where everything is kind of feels like it's on us. We got the pressure of the world on us in so many different ways, and it's those moments that we start to second guess ourselves. It's those moments because we're not able to have access to everything that we think we need, or achieve the results that we think we need to achieve in those moments, and instead we start to go, and we freak out, and then we start getting to this, like, I don't know what to do, oh my gosh, maybe I made the wrong decision, maybe this is the wrong decision, blah, 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 blah. So we really start second guessing everything. So if you start the creation work of, I don't know how, but it just is that I always know the next best thing to do. The birds behind me are like flying everywhere. I have a bird in the tree that likes to fight with a squirrel. It's very, they literally get into like a screaming match out here. It's kind of funny. Anyway, but squirrel moment, right? Sidetrack. But in that right there, if you start to write that down, then what it's going to do, and it's all about that consistency, but in that consistency of writing those things out and focusing in on that, what's going to happen if you start scripting how you want to feel, you're going to be presented doorways that are going to give you the opportunities to feel more of what you're requesting, instead of chaos and overwhelmed, depression, anger, frustration, lack of clarity. You're still going to feel those things as you're going through, but they're going to be just microscopic compared to all the good stuff that's coming at you. And just remaining conscious through those moments and recognizing that, hey, maybe I don't get to act on this in the way that I think I should, or maybe it's not coming to me exactly the way I thought it would. Just realize in those moments that this is the time that you just kind of let go and let God, because you sent out your request to the universe. You told God what you want, and you focused in on, this is how I want to feel. This is what I want to happen in my life. I would like to see this happen in my life. And, it's kind of like my situation. I'll just take quite literally the manifestation of an amazing house within 48 hours, going from not knowing at all what I was going to do house-wise to literally walking into a phenomenal situation that, yes, there's some kinks and some things that has to be worked out, like everything in life, but overall, after I spent like maybe 5 hours looking at houses, and then I ended up having a friend tell me, hey, here's a place and this would work, this could work. It's basically boom. And when I drove up to this house, I was a fuck yes to it instantaneously, just from amazing curb appeal. And maybe that's just, maybe my girl was on high that day or whatever, but when I drove up to the house, I was just like, dang, like, I think I found my home. And I had looked at these other homes, and none of them were just like really dragging me in and saying, yes, go for me, I'm the house that you really want. I was like, like, I like this, and I like that, and I like this, and I like that, but nothing was like a yes. And then I pulled up here, and I was like, fuck yes. And that's what we're looking for. We're looking for those fuck yes moments, because those fuck yes moments are exactly what's telling us that's the direction you need to go. That's the hot turn on that your spirit's saying, yes, that is it. Take that door. Take that door. If you're just as meh to something, just, well, I like this about it, but I don't like that about it. I like this, but I don't like that. And, oh, you know, I'd have to sacrifice this for that. Well, and yeah, sure, like in my situation, I had to actually move about 35 minutes from where I was at to where I'm now at. So there's some sacrifice in there, you could say, but it's not enough that makes me go, ugh. It is just, it's part of change, right? That's just part of change. It's not a big deal. So I'm not saying don't look at, like, there's going to always be some challenges in anything, but look at those things that you are that fuck yes to, because if you want to have a fuck yes life, the whole thing behind the fuck yes life concept is that you are a fuck yes to the things happening in your life consistently, and that means that you are really just going, what turns me on? Oh, that does. I'm going there. You might have 20 doorways open and you don't know what to choose. The lack of clarity, the lack of focus, all this different, the concern, fear, worry, doubt in self, lack of worthiness, all this different stuff is going to come up. But if you really just tap into your core, into your heart, and you go, ooh, well, that's a yes. I'm a turn on there. And those are, well, like, I have some turn on, but not as much as here. Your guidance system, you could say, is truly that turn on, and to just drive towards that, to just keep yourself going towards that and not worry so much about, as you're going down that path, the little things that are coming up, because there's going to be lots of little doorways, lots of little transitions, lots of little challenges that pop up, and just working through those, because all of those are just part of the evolution of your path and of your life and of the new you that is in the making. So to just keep consistent with that. And again, remember to let go and let God on that stuff, because if you let go and let God, then God is always going to be able to present to you the best possible opportunities for you to exert your free will and choose from. So really just look at it like, hey, God's presenting a catalog of the things that you say you want. And if you're saying that you want them, here's your catalog, pick from them, right? Here's the catalog, pick from them, choose what you want. Now, once you make that decision, once you put your order in on that thing, like me with this house, there's going to be different things that are going to happen on that particular path. And you don't know what they are, and you don't need to necessarily worry about what they are. Just keep in focus that turns me on, that doesn't turn me on. Yes, I might be frustrated about this, but here's this right here, right behind it. That's really great. So we move through this, and that's really great. And we get to that next moment of fuck yes, fuck yes, fuck yes. We just keep moving along and follow that turn on. And next thing you know, all the doors are open for you. You got your clear path. There's no severe obstacles in a way, no severe challenges for that current life path that you're choosing. So, and guess what? At the end of the day, the doors that prevented you from doing some of the things that you wanted, like changing clothes, will open at some point, and you'll have access to everything that you need and you want, as long as you stay connected to your core and really just keep aligned to that. And that means to read this system instead of this system up here. And when I point up here, I'm not saying don't think about it, don't analyze it, don't try to make the best logical decisions even, but that when we get into this space right here, you're not going to get turned on here, you're going to get turned on here, and that's what you're looking for. Okay? So, all right, guys, I hear my little one still yelping for me. So before he manages to wake up the whole house, or who knows what he's going to do, end up in a crying fit, I'm going to let you guys go. I love you guys. As always, remember to stop existing and start living. If you want to explore any other things that I have shared here, because my Feel Good Now course is definitely takes you steps deeper. I also have my free Fuck Yes Life Coach course that's out as well. I will make sure that the links get added in. I can't do that this morning like I normally do on here, but I'll make sure those links get added into this video. But both of those courses definitely take you steps deeper and, you know, better understanding of to some of the concepts that I've shared here and in other Conscious Coffees. So stop existing, start living. Go have an amazing fucking Friday. Enjoy your day, enjoy your weekend, and enjoy your transformation. Love you guys, and I will catch you on Monday.